Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. It's 7 o'clock. I'm Tracey McCain.
And I'm Caitlin Nuclo. You're watching Eyewitness News here on the Wax. A lot to talk about this morning. But first, let's say hello to meteorologist Scott Gagliardi for a check on that first alert forecast. And we just have wonderful news to talk about today, right?
How did it feel waking up this morning?
Amazing. So nice.
Cool temperatures. Yeah. 50s out there.
Yeah.
It's going to be a spectacular day. Even maybe a little bit below average to start the day. So nice changes there. I'm excited about it.
Me too.
You're in the yellow. This is the sun.
I try to bring the sunshine.
You brought the sunshine.
Can I be your sunshine?
Yes, and it's going to stick around for the weekend, which is excellent news for anybody who has plans this weekend. A live look in Mystic. You notice plenty of sunshine. There's a few high, thin clouds along the shoreline, but other than that, it's looking very nice out there. Same deal up in Windsor Locks. It's cooler, 67 degrees, but notice that breeze out of the northwest at 3. Here's a look at your 24-hour temperature change. Very impressive. 4 to 10 degrees cooler right now than we were this time yesterday, giving us readings right now in the 50s and low 60s, the exception being right along the shoreline. You notice New Haven and Bridgeport both coming in those middle and upper 60s, but the big deal is this northwest wind. It's bringing in drier air, which is making it feel excellent out there. Take a look at these dew points in the 50s. We haven't seen this in at least a week, and we'll see it throughout the weekend, but big changes by next week. Your hour-by-hour forecast, it's sunny, and it's warm throughout the entire day for today. I'll let you know how hot it gets and what we run our next chance for some rainfall. That's all coming up with your full first alert forecast. Good morning, Kate.
Hey, good morning, Scott. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Time is now 7:02. If you're getting ready to head out the door, your drive times and speeds actually looking pretty good for the majority of the state here this morning. Hartford to New Haven on 91, Waterbury to Hartford 84 eastbound, and then starting to pick up some delays. 95 southbound, New Haven to the George Washington Bridge. The Parkway starting to back up just a little bit as well, but the rest of the state actually doing very well out there this morning, with the exception of here in Norwalk. We just picked up this crash here again in Norwalk. You can take a live look outside. This is on 95 southbound side between exits 16 and 15. The left lane there is blocked off, but unfortunately we are dealing with some delays here through the area. So again, this is on 95 southbound through Norwalk between exits 16 and 15 with the left lane closed. Rest of the state though, looking absolutely beautiful. You can see a live look outside in Hartford, Waterbury, Middletown, and Meridan. Delay free. Rest of the state is crash and incident free, and that daytime construction picks up about 8:30, 9 o'clock this morning. I'm Caitlin Francis with your Connecticut Chevy First Alert Traffic Report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
Following breaking news this morning in France, that's where criminal vandalism and arson to the train lines there are halting travel ahead of today's Olympic opening ceremonies. The vandalism has caused major traffic disruptions for those traveling to the opening ceremonies. Officials say the repairs could cause delays through at least the end of the weekend, and travelers are encouraged to postpone their journeys. Opening ceremony set to begin today at 1:30 Eastern Time.
Well, this morning, 9 pistols are on the street illegally after criminals robbed a gun store in Southington. Police say the thieves rammed their car into the door at Lock and Load Firearms and then forced their way inside the building. This is the second time crooks have hit that store in just the last 2 months. In May, robbers stole 10 handguns. Former FBI agent Ken Gray, who also lectures at the University of New Haven, explained to us where guns like these often go after they're stolen.
9 or 10 guns makes me think that they are stealing them with the intention of either selling them or trading them for something like drugs.
Well, police are not able to trace most stolen guns, and experts warn they are often used to commit other crimes.
New Haven is dealing with a dangerous increase in shootings, especially in the last 2 weeks.
Channel 3's Luke Hydash has more from New Haven on this recent uptick in crime.
Just in the last 12 days, New Haven has seen 16 different shootings. If there's any good news out of that, it's that all of the victims are expected to survive. But more than a dozen shootings has community leaders worried about what's going to happen the rest of this summer. The weather is getting warmer outside, and that is why many of these shootings are happening, according to city leaders. There's also a nationwide police officer shortage, and New Haven is no exception. There are less police to patrol these problems areas. Shootings are down, though, this year compared to last. 149 compared to 204 back in 2023 at this time. But right now, New Haven's going through a bit of a rough patch.
So we're trending in the right direction, but this 12-day span has been quite difficult, quite difficult for the community, quite difficult for the officers. As you know, we're particularly low on officers, and it's a tough time of year.
And oftentimes there are people that know each other that have a beef or some sort of conflict, and so what we typically do is work very, very hard to identify both associates of the victims with street outreach workers to simmer things down.
You see the banner on the police station there downtown. Police departments like New Haven have really had no choice but to pick up recruitment efforts over the past couple of years to get more officers patrolling and hopefully quell this type of violence. In New Haven, Luke Hydash, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Police say when a 19-year-old murdered another teenager, his own mother helped him commit the crime as the getaway driver. Investigators say Angelo Gibson shot and killed 16-year-old Joshua Vasquez in New Haven back in 2022, and his mother helped him leave the scene. They're both in jail this morning. Police have not provided any details about a possible motive, but they say the crime may stem from tensions that the pair had when they were younger.
Right now, a local family tells us they are bitterly disappointed after the driver in a horrific hit and run was sentenced in Naugatuck. 2 years ago, Brandon Guth caught Dallas Rodriguez trying to steal tools from his truck. Rodriguez then left the scene but ran over Guth in the process, who is now disabled and lives with a traumatic brain injury. Rodriguez received 25 years in prison, but he'll be released after 14 if he maintains good behavior.
My brother is clearly disabled for the rest of his life. He can never be the same, and my family will never be the same.
If Rodriguez receives credit for a time served, he could be out in 12 years.
State police are leading a death investigation in Meridan this morning after police found a body off of Golden Street yesterday afternoon. The victim's identity and the cause of death have not been released. We'll bring you the first alert on this as soon as we learn more.
Well, the search is still underway for a man involved in a deadly shooting on the Meridan Green. This follows Tuesday's arrest of a woman involved in the dispute. Police say Mariah Farrar is charged with assault after she got into an altercation with Beth Nwija and was stabbed and shot. The man at large then pulled out a gun and fatally shot Nwija. The investigation is ongoing.
Well, the FBI has arrested 2 leaders of a Mexican drug cartel. The suspects have been identified as Ishmael El Mayo Zambada and the son of El Chapo, Joaquin Guzman Lopez. Investigators arrested both men yesterday in El Paso, Texas. In a statement, the Attorney General writes the Justice Department has taken into custody 2 additional alleged leaders of the Sinaloa Cartel, one of the most violent and powerful drug trafficking organizations in the world. Both men face a bunch of charges, including deadly fentanyl manufacturing and trafficking.
A 14-time Grammy Award winner, Taylor Swift, is known for her songwriting and relatable music, but there are many more things that she is famous for.
Yeah, and that's why colleges are actually offering a course to study the pop singer's influence in society. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Olivia Schuler live in her studio this morning to tell us more about a class that's being offered at Quinnipiac.
Yeah, I can only wish that it was offered when I was a student there, but it was not. So now I'll have to just talk about it and wish. But from the outside, there's a lot to find interesting about Taylor Swift's love stories and anti-heroes. But most Swifties will say their connection to the star is through her detailed songwriting. That's what drew college student Sasha Fisher to the online summer course Taylor Swift Cultural Mirror Ball. Professor Ari Perez says other colleges offering the course tend to focus on one field of study, whether that be women and gender studies, the business side, legal woes, or on journalism. Perez chose to compile all of that in the online course that's 7 weeks, 13 sections, which, as you may know, is Swift's lucky number. And one student that we spoke to says she didn't expect her marketing major to relate so much to a course about Taylor Swift.
One of the articles, something that stood out to me was how Taylor's different eras have kind of shown how she markets herself. And it's not just the music that makes her so successful. And I realized that so many terms that I've learned in school about marketing can be applicable to Taylor Swift.
Now, Professor Perez hopes the course can be offered another semester, but only if the students don't have any bad blood after taking it. In studio, Olivia Schuler, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Well, thank you, Olivia. The water in 2 state park beaches will be retested this morning after a dangerous level of bacteria was found in the water. The beaches at Black Rock State Park and Wharton Brook State Park were both closed yesterday as a result of those tests. The parks are still open for other activities.